All right, welcome to leg 11 of our journey from San Diego to Anchorage. We're here in Fall City. We're headed to Tacoma Narrows, and we're going to be taking the Airbus H125. We've been doing props up to this point, but we're going to do a rotor today. It should be a quick flight, and this is, like I said, leg 11. We'll do the Kodiak tomorrow, but I wanted to kind of show this off. This aircraft is great. I've been flying this for a bit now, just trying to get used to taxiing in helicopters, flying the pattern. But this one comes with a ton of cool features. As you can see, you get a searchlight there. We've just got the seats up here, but if we go ahead and jump into the aircraft, we can go ahead and load up the weights and measures, and we can take a look at a couple of the other things you can do. So, for instance, we can load up the freakish medical squad with fresh with Jeff Goldblum from The Fly. If we jump back, we'll actually go with I'm going to reset this. I'm going to close our door because it's hard to close with this stuff in here, but we're going to do around the world, which is gets us some recreational stuff, and then we'll go ahead and close up our cockpit here. And let's go ahead and let's lose the doors. All right. And as you can see, there's a bunch of stuff. There's nose, bear paws, skid steps, nose mirror, side basket, wire cutters. You could put just a giant wooden crate in there. So it's pretty slick. Okay, so for today's journey, looking at our charts, we're going over here to Tacoma Narrows. We're not far from there. We're over here in Fall City. Obviously, we've got Seattle International right here with the airspaces. So if we stay out of this inner ring, I don't want to get to this 1,800 to 10,000 range. So we'll come into the airspace. We're right on the edge of it, as you can see. We'll be below 6,000, below 5,000. And then we'll stay below 3,000, and we'll basically come down here. This is 10,000 to 3,000 for the Seattle airspace. So as long as we're below 3,000, come through here, and then we'll come over here to Tacoma Narrows, and we should be good through here. It's 3,000, 5,000. So it'll just keep us out of the Seattle airspace there and give us a bit of a challenge there. As well, it looks like there's a hang glider thing we need to keep an eye out over here. And we'll just keep an eye out as we come through here. So looking there, looks like there's a bunch of little airstrips in here. Let's see here. So Norman Greer has a 123 Unicom, so we'll dial that in. And then we'll go ahead and get our Tacoma Narrows tower plugged in. You can also modify, so you can also change the avionics packages in here. So we'll go with a GTN on our center panel. You can also change these ones out, but we'll go ahead and keep with our 6-pack. And you can also, there's click spots here for switching to a GTN, which we'll keep here instead of the Garmin 530. I prefer the GTN. And then you can also add a ADF right here. So yeah, it's pretty full-featured. It's pretty great. So we'll get ourselves configured here for takeoff. We've got the prop and fuel cutoff are locked. Let's go ahead and get our battery flipped on. Fuel pump is on. It shouldn't have been on, but we'll flip it on. We'll get the anti-collision lights on. We'll also get our landing light on just to let them know that we're getting the rotor going here, and we'll flip it on. And we're going to watch our NI pressure here. And then once this gets up, we'll get our avionics going and we'll get out of here. It should be pretty quick. We got a wind coming from the east, so we'll depart out taxi and head out to the east, and then we'll head out to the west. Let me get my Sky for Sim up while we monitor this. Should be all good. All right, got our Sky for Sim up. And that's a good engine start. We'll go ahead and get our avionics on, and we'll get our gen on. we'll hit the pump off and we'll get our pitot heat on. We are squawking 1200. And then, what'd I say? Oh, Unicom is 1230 or 123. Go ahead and flip that out, and then we'll check Tacoma Tower. I don't even know if my pilot ATC is going to work for us, but...
Traverse 7225 on final for 35.
So their tower is 1185. All right, great. All right, let's get out of here.
Traffic Scavengers 227.
We can do a couple tests here, so we'll hit our annunciator test, make sure that's all good. Let's check our fire test. We should have done these before when we flipped the battery on. Fire test is good, servo is good. Okay, and we'll get our horn flipped on once we get taken off here. We'll go to the map on this one as well. All right, great. We'll get our taxi lights on. And we are good to go. So we'll go, we'll put the throttle into takeoff.
Overflying the airport.
We got the cyclic, we got the anti-torque pedals, and I'm going to bring the collective back and get us into a hover.
Traffic Scavengers 227, we're overflying the airport midfield for left downwind runway 17.
If this does not, if this sticks to the ground, I'm going to have to fix it. All right, and as I said, I've been having a little bit of trouble with this, so let's go ahead and get ourselves going from this position. We'll go ahead and fire up the, oh, you know what? We got to do everything. So we'll get our battery on, and we'll go ahead and do those tests that we had ignored before. We'll also get let's get our anti-collision lights on. So do a fire test. We'll have the servo test. And then we've got our self-start test that'll happen here. I think it'll do a 2-second test here. All right, let's go ahead and hit the avionics, or the annunciator. Check, looks good. And then here we go. Here's that test I was talking about. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. I need to study into all of this and see what that stuff's actually doing. So, all right, let's get our engine going here. So the lever and the cutoff are good, and we'll go ahead and flip the starter. Watching the NI come up as our rotor gets going here. Let's go and get our taxi on there, or our landing on, just to awareness. All right, let's go ahead and get our gen turned on. Let's get our avionics on. We'll get our comms dialed in. I think I said 123 for Unicom and 118. So let's do 1230. And then this one is 1185 for Tacoma. All right, and let's go ahead and get ourselves going now. So we got our cyclic. Oh, wow. I can definitely tell we are good to go here. Let's get our taxi lights can go on, and our landing lights can go on. I think our taxi were already on. Fuel pump can go off, and pitot can go on. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get our throttle into flight, and we'll get ourselves a little hover going here.
Traffic, Tango 6341, Tango 9 miles speed, northwest, inbound for landing. Traffic, Skyhawk 634.
Let's see if we can taxi out.
To the northwest. We'll make our right gauge for 17.
Let's see if we can taxi out here. All right, Fall City traffic, helicopter Bravo Alpha Echo, departing Fall City, heading to the south. Fall City traffic. All right, let's go ahead and get out onto the runway.
All right, you know what? We'll just go upwind here for 17 and swing back around behind you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. 707, Mike. Continuing final 17. 2.8 mile final.
All right, and then let's go ahead and take off. Fall City traffic, helicopter Bravo Alpha Echo departing to the south, Fall City traffic. All right. We'll head down this way. Let's go ahead and take a look at the waterfalls down here before we head out. Oh, there it is. Is that it? Where is it? I know I saw it when I flew in last week. I wanted to see it again. It is the falls for which it is named. Oh, I guess it would be by the river. That would make sense.
Traffic Skyhawk 231, Tango, turning left base, runway 17.
There we go. Nice. Looks like the water's traveling backwards, but I guess that's because of the wind. All right, let's head over to Tacoma Narrows now. We'll start heading south. Altitude, we're at 1,100 feet. So we'll follow this little highway out here.
Traffic Skyhawk 6341 Tango, turning final runway 17.
Yeah, helicopters are a different beast altogether. Okay, we can get our horn turned on there. Let's see if I remember the key. Ah, there we go. Of course, I probably turned off about 5 things as I fumbled about there.
Traffic, 7 citation departing westbound, straight out leaving there.
All right, we'll head out over the mountain here. Let's go ahead and get our Sky for Sim to be a bit more useful. That'll be our wide map.
Skyhawk 53 Bravo Whiskey, about a mile final, runway 26.
All right, let's see if we can exercise some altitude control. We'll stay at about 2,000 feet. Let's go ahead and head this way just so that we don't have to elevate over the hill.
Traffic 223 Bravo Whiskey, clear of all runways.
A bit of turbulence here. Just come over the hill. Airspeed's good. P's and T's all look good. Once you're airborne, these are obviously not too difficult, but working to restrictions is tough, and definitely taxiing, hovering. So I've learned that pattern altitude for helicopters is 500 feet generally, but they fly a pattern just like airplanes, and they generally will taxi along the taxiways, which I thought you just took off from where you are, but that's not the case. It's been a lot harder to find good information. Oh, that looks great. That is cool. I love catching like these types of details. Really nice.
Traffic, Blue Line PC 12, 172 Alpha Foxtrot. We are on a 45 degree left downwind, landing on runway 28. Any other traffic?
I can feel the stutters coming. We'll see how that goes.
Spirit, 575, Mike Delta taxi. to runway 26.
Hopefully some of this lagginess goes away. I'm hoping it's just stuff loading as I'm getting into the Seattle area here. All right, we're about 2,000 feet still.
Traffic, blue light PC 12172 Alpha Foxtrot. We are on the left downwind, landing on way 26.
See if I can trim it out some. Trim is definitely something that I've learned to value as a with the helicopter. I never knew how much I should be using trim. It's generally quite a bit.
Traffic, Flight 172 Foxtrot, clear runway 28.
I think essentially we need to come down. There's a lake down here that we need to come down to.
Traffic, Cirrus 575 Mike Delta.
This is where it doesn't pay to be a right-handed mouse user. Okay, this lake here, we need to come down here to be clear of the airspace, and then we come across, as long as we're on that lateral right there, or, yeah, we should be good.
Traffic, Cirrus 575 Mike Delta is left downwind.
I'm climbing here.
Departing the area to the east.
Yeah, these lags are sucking. Let's get back down. Let's just keep an eye on our airspeed there. What I'm thinking about doing is actually building. I live by the Channel Islands near California, and the Channel Islands are a big kind of national preserve. And I've been thinking about building an airstrip out there, finding an airstrip that they use, that the researchers and preservationists, I guess, use, and doing supply runs and stuff like that, simulating supply runs, things like that. Be fun.
Traffic, Skyhawk 473 Charlie Sierra, Sierra 26 at Echo.
We should be getting a pretty good look at Seattle. I guess we're in the South Bay. I think it's way over there. I guess that's what we get for avoiding the airspace. We'll see it in the Kodiak when we fly out tomorrow. So what I'm thinking about for the Kodiak is flying from Tacoma Narrows up to Friday Harbor, and then going, dropping some stuff off, and then going from Friday Harbor up to Pitt Meadows, which is on the Vancouver side of things. That's probably what I'll do. I definitely want to visit Friday Harbor because they've got a cafe there in the Sobo add-on, or the Sobo airport for that has Ernie's Cafe. My dog is named Ernie. So I thought that was kind of neat when I rolled in there one time and I saw it. And then I looked it up on Google Maps on the real Friday Harbor, and sure enough, Ernie's Cafe is there. It's loved by the locals, so I want to go back up and visit it. And then we will head to Pitt Meadows from there. All right, we can give it increase the collective here. get a little bit more altitude. I think we're gonna be up at around 2,000 feet. We're coming down to it's our lake right there that we need to make our turn at.
Traffic jet speed 241 Global Express overflow ramp taxiing Bravo to the hold short runway 26.
Yeah, it's probably not liking all the air traffic that it has to inject. Well, I think I know Renton Airport is over here. Oh, I think it's actually way up there.
Coming through 1500 for 5,000, departing to the west.
All right, now if we head on the 270 heading to the west, we'll come to Tacoma Narrows.
Traffic insurance 6190 Yankee is 13 miles to the southeast. I'm going to pick up the RNAV 90 Yankee.
I'll call it. Oh, no. I accidentally let go of the joystick, or I knocked my own hand, I should say. What is this? S50? I was hoping to get a name of a place. I was going to call my, make my Unicom call.
On the RNAV runway 26.
But traffic, helicopter Bravo Alpha Echo.
7 mile final on the RNAV 26.
Transitioning to Tacoma Narrows. Not very precise. That crane seems stranded. Those trees down there. Man, I said I could climb 500 feet.
3 mile final 26.
I did not intend to climb.
No problem.
Back off. I climbed a bit too much there. Whenever I think of Tacoma Narrows, I think of that video footage from the early 1900s of that Tacoma Narrows bridge snapping.
Traffic here to 63 Lima is a 3 mile final 26.
Oscillating wildly. Looks great. It'd be great if it didn't stutter quite so often, but that's what I get for being in a pretty packed area, I think.
63 Lima, 1 mile final 26. Traffic, this is Skyhawk 473, Charlie Sierra, about 5 miles to the south.
Let's go ahead and flip to Tacoma Narrows Tower. See if we can contact them. Trying to trim my helicopter out a bit here.
Second 2550, good afternoon, number 4.
Gotta stay below 3,000. Radio check. Let's see here. Radio check. Radio check. No.
27 left line of light, American 2071.
Radio check. Radio check. Oh, I could use my Yoke one if it was actually behaving. Looks like it's not. Alright, there's the Tacoma Narrows Bridge.
Connected 743 Heavy, you can use Quebec if that's you. Do you know
Let's
where
go
your
ahead and
gate is?
start descending a bit.
Yeah, Quebec is just for American 743.
Okay, contact right, so you guys have a great day.
I got an itchy finger. I keep playing with the throttle. One of these times I'm going to move it out of flight by accident.
Correct, 2687 departure stand.
We'll get down into pattern altitude, which is 500 feet for a helicopter. And we'll enter the pattern. Also, helicopters only do right-handed patterns, from what I understand. Which means that we are going to... we'll enter the right wing, we'll enter the right,
230, runway 27 left.
right downwind on this side of the airport. What I was doing was determining whether I had to get on the other side for a right-handed pattern if the wind was blowing the other way, but because we're east-west, pretty much straight with the wind, and I really can't check it without us dying. So I guess we could fly over. That would be the better thing to do.
Pushing 648, 27 left, bottom way. 27 left, line out, point, boost 648.
It's great. Looks great. So I might do some, when we get to Alaska or on the way up to Canada, I might pull out the floats.
Breakout 4601, contact
But we'll see.
Have a good afternoon, breakout 4601.
There's the Tacoma Narrows. Continue my descent. Looks like field elevation.
265 on the departure. The wind is 3307, runway 27 left. Good takeoff. 265 on departure, 27.
Should have checked field elevation.
648.
Alright, we will enter our right downwind at the 45-degree angle, as we should. And I have got to drop some altitude.
American 2550, runway 27 left, line of play. 27 left, line of play, American 2550.
My butt kicker was not on this whole time.
Hello, Jazzy. Found that visual 279.
Jazz 859 Tower, good afternoon. Caution, wake turbulence, you're bound to heavy zone 787 on 2-mile final, wind 3406, runway 27 exit on.
Yeah, check comments for the land 279, 87.
American 2550, turn left, heading 230, runway 27 left, clear for takeoff.
Left turn 230, clear for takeoff, 27 left, American 2550.
Tacoma Narrows, helicopter Bravo Alpha Echo, downwind, Tacoma Narrows. Alright, we're at about 500 feet. Tacoma Narrows, helicopter Bravo Alpha Echo, turning base, runway 10, 10.
American 2550, contact point, have a good day.
Well, American 2550.
second step 55 heavy, right to high speed. Victor, spot 3, contact ramp 6.
Victor, spot 3 and ramp American 65 down.
Blue Chief 6648, contact departure stand.
Departure Blue Chief 6648, seconds.
See if we can slow down a bit here. Skid stop. Unofficial skid stop. All right, we'll go ahead and see if we can hover over